city government workers in Seattle have been advised now that there are new terms coming online that are offensive in their Office for Civil Rights. Now, already, they don't use a few words in Seattle documents. They won't use words like dinosaurs, birthdays, and Halloween, because it could evoke unpleasant emotions. So you
dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs.
Why? Is that fear that dinosaurs may come back really quickly?
I don't
kill people?
know. So you can't use
Dinosaurs.
those. Okay?
Is that a Christian thing? Are they afraid Christians will be offended by the word dinosaur? Is that what that is?
I don't know.
That's phenomenal.
I moved away from Seattle for a good reason.
Wow.
Government workers now in Seattle this week have been advised that they are no longer to use the word citizen because it is potentially offensive. Instead, use the word resident because you may live here, but you're not a citizen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it gets better. Here's the other word. They're no longer to use the word. Well, let me tell you what they have to replace it with because of prejudice. They are allowed to use the words lunch and learn as a replacement for something else. Lunch and learn.
Lunch and learn. Mm-hmm. Is it one word that these two are two words?
We're replacing the three, lunch and learn, replacing two words because it's racist. And it evokes bad emotions when people hear this word because of the way it was used.
Lunch and learn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can't say you're having a for lunch, brown bag.
Wait, what?
What? Yeah, you can't say a brown bag.
You can't say you're brown bagging lunch today?
Yeah, no, you can't. Oh, my gosh, listen to him.
He just said it like he said it before. It was like rolled off his tongue.
Yeah, I mean, he says it like he says it a lot.
Oh, my God, he's admitting it. Are you listening to this?
Now, do you know what the racism is, according to those in Seattle? Now, this apparently was big in Seattle. I grew up in Seattle. I've never heard of this. People used to have checks at doors, and they would use a brown bag, and they would hold it up next to your skin. And if you were as brown as the bag, you weren't allowed in.
What? When did that happen?
I don't know. I grew up in Seattle, and I've never heard of it.
That's bull crap.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, it may be. I mean, I've never heard of it, but still, I mean, that's certainly not the way it's applied today.
You would have heard of that. I mean, if
I would have heard of that.
You know, maybe in the 1800s or something.
Seattle wasn't around until like 1920. No.
That's a
brown bag.
Wow.
Seattle is...
How does lunch and learn replace brown bag? That's not the same thing.
Honey, I'm just going to lunch and learn it today. What the hell are you talking about? What? I want a divorce. I'm going to lunch and learn it. You know what that is? That is a city that apparently is paying too much in income tax because they have paid people to sit around and come up with ways to be offended. You know, idle hands are the devil's playground. And when you have the Office for Civil Rights in Seattle, and they are so, what are you doing? What can you? This is the second time, 2 days in a row.
I'm listening
First
to
his
you.
phone, and now what are you doing?
He's just jamming French toast into his mouth while you're eating. And he's cutting
you didn't have to make mention of it.
He's cutting. Well, we had to because you're cutting the French toast on styrofoam, which is making that awful styrofoam.
That?
Yes, we did.
No, you did not.
What do you think?
Saw, and you're so jealous.
I can't see what you're doing. You had your back turned to me. I couldn't see it.
You're
I'm
so
like, what are you
jealous that you can't have French toast that you had to stop what you were talking about and complain about the fact that I can eat French toast and you can't.
Do you still have that box of pictures that you were talking about?
Yes, I do. You do. But I wonder why he's throwing the word French around so much.
Yeah.
What a
Think
racist.
About Think about it.
The French are toast now, are they? Are they really?
More racism.
And what color is the syrup?
Oh, my gosh.
What? Maple?
Oh, is that the new word you guys use?
Is that the word?
Okay.
I hear the code language of maple, brown. I got it, racist.
Wow. It's that deep. It's that deep.
So here's the thing. You're living in Seattle. And you know you're not going to change Seattle because that's who's moved there. As my grandparents used to say, because they were in Puyallup, Washington. Can you stop?
All I can hear
the
is
noise?
I knew you would.
You cannot
stop. Hear that?
Yes, I can.
Of course you can. Are you deaf? Are you completely deaf?
You're cutting. There is no way you can hear that.
Can you wait? It is 45 minutes after. Within 2 minutes, we're going to be in commercial.
It's getting cold. No, I can't wait. It's getting cold while you're yakking.
So in other words, it is too much. You had breakfast. You had breakfast.
It was an appetizer. It was breakfast.
This is breakfast that we made for you here in the studio, and then somebody came and delivered it to you an hour before we went on. You can't last 3.5 hours with us. What are you, a hobbit? You need like a second breakfast all of a sudden every 3 hours you have to eat?
Yeah, so we can continue to talk about that, or you could get back to what you were yapping about before.
Here's our sponsor this half hour. Food insurance. In case there's ever a shortage in food and you're worried that where am I going to eat? What am I going to have in the next? I just ate. 20 minutes later, I've got to eat again. What am I going to have? What could I possibly eat?
That's what food insurance is for?
It is
for 20 minutes later? I don't think so.
This is what he's doing.
I don't think so.
Have you eaten any of yours?
Food insurance?
Yeah.
All the time. Every time my wife cooks something I don't like, I'm going into the food insurance stash.
Now, here's the thing. Pat actually had it delivered, and I guess, he didn't believe his best friend of 30 years. I mean, why take my word for it? Jeez. I mean, I ask you, don't take my word for it, do your own homework. But Pat, he's known me for 30 years. Doesn't trust me enough.
Well, I believed it would probably taste decent. I was really surprised at how good it actually is. I mean, it's like restaurant quality or homemade quality. It's delicious. It's surprisingly good.